Hello everyone, welcome to Fearfully Greedy. In today's video, I will do an update on the portfolio after the earnings seasons. I also wanted to comment a bit on the content of the channel. If you have been here for a while, you will see that the content is a bit all over the place. I just wanted to see what I like, what I enjoyed doing a bit more, but maybe it drifted away from the original purpose. The original purpose was sharing my investing journey, like making a public portfolio and letting you know what I think, what I'm buying, what I'm selling, and so on. And I didn't get much from some of the videos, maybe some more views, but not a lot of like value for me. At least it wasn't aligned with my research, like my investing research. So it was like in my life I have like three focus: my work, which is very unrelated to YouTube and finance. Then I want to have some social life. That's also important to me. Then I had like my investing, my research. I spent a lot of time in that. And then I had the YouTube. And if I cannot align the YouTube with the investing research and content, I think it's too much things to do at once. Like it's not like I'm. My job also requires a lot of time for me. If you knew what I did for a living, I manage full-time a business. It would be hard for you to think that I also have time to do all this. So make it more efficient, make the content more integrated with the research. So that's a bit of the rant. Expect a bit more more focus on the portfolio and sharing my investing ideas, a bit on more portfolio thinking, like on what I'm buying, but what I'm selling, why I'm doing so. More of sharing the investing journey. That's it, right? So now the rant is over. I will go over each position, a bit on the latest news on all of them, what I'm thinking, if I'm buying, if I'm selling. For now, the portfolio is sitting at 21,500 euros. I added 1,000 more euros this month. I added them at the start of the month. I'm switching to more start of the month. Also, Warrior was falling a lot, so I wanted to buy before that. And about what I bought 57 shares of Warrior just to make an even 300 shares for Warrior, right? It's still my second biggest position. Shinoken is the first, so I will comment on this position first because I haven't done in the channel. I haven't let you know what Shinoken is. Don't expect I'm an investing thesis. I will do another video into that. But for today, I just want to present the company bit, what it is about, and so on. Also remember that in every video at the end you have a spreadsheet, which is a Google Sheet, where you can see all the positions, depreciation, since I cannot share the brokerage account because the Giro doesn't do that. You can see here the progress, the days, the PE that we have at the moment. The PE looks very bad because we have a couple of the biggest positions which negative earnings, right? Which is Warrior. Then the transactions, you can see all the movements we have done, the dividends we got paid. I have to update. Well, I have Intel and Warrior coming very soon. I will update them, but they are very insignificant and not a big amount. Then the deposits, how much money I have added since the start of the project. Now let's talk about Shinoken. These and all my videos are not to be considered financial advice. Please consult a professional or do your own research before investing. I also may hold positions in all the discussed stocks. Take that into consideration when watching the videos. Shinoken is a new position. If you have seen the previous videos, you will see I'm buying a lot of it. It's already the biggest position, around 4,500 euros or 20% more or less of the portfolio. It's a real estate business. They are developer, but they also do services. They have some adjacent business, which it's I'd say a very small cap or micro cap, 350 million. This is in US dollars. They have revenues of 850 million in the last year, and they have earnings around 45 million, right? So I think the valuation is very attractive, very cheap in that sense, but is also what we would call a spawner. So internally and through mergers and acquisitions, it's a company that keeps adding more business to the core business, and it's making the quality of the business of the overall business higher in that sense. And they have a very good track record of this over 30 years of keeping adding to the company. The idea from this company comes from Anish Pabrai, same as the spawner idea. It goes in line with what I usually buy, and then it's also very high quality business. It's in the Tokyo exchange, so 1,211 yens. That's my average price of buying, and around this range I would keep buying. The position is slightly down, I would say flat, but very cool position. As said, I will do a video with a full investing thesis on this one. Yeah, so now about Warrior, what happened is they ran into strike, right? That's one of the news I wanted to cover about it. It's a union, so the union called a strike, more or less the miners or the union. So they have to get a new contract with new wages and so on. I'm expecting this to be closed in some weeks. It's already been a month, and so far no deal has been closed, at least in the news. I'm sure the talks are still taking place, but I'm not too worried about strikes. It's something very common when a new contract has to get set. I say not too worried, but it's something that is in the news. I think the investing thesis doesn't change for this. Once they have the contract and everyone is happy, and the company is exactly the same as 2 months ago, right? And then there was also news about fraud. This is something very typical when a stock falls a lot. So the stock fell more than 20% in one day when they published the last quarter. So the full year 2020, they posted a net loss on the bottom line. And what happened is the stock fell like 20%. What happens is a law firm, when the stock falls so much, is that it just gets everyone involved that has maybe buying the stock lately or has bought some time ago, and try to see if there's some malpractice, and they want everyone to join in the proceeding to get fees and so on. It's very normal proceeding, not worried at all about this. I haven't heard anything new, so I don't think it holds any water, right? Then about the earnings of this quarter, free cash flow positive, strong liquidity, the lowest cash costs in history since Warrior Metcall was set up. Honestly, the market is very depressed. The ban for Australian coal for China is in place still, so we're competing all in the same market, kind of. So the market is it needs to pick up a bit. It hasn't evolved. So from the last quarter, same news, right? In a change. So the thesis is unchanged. Once the market gets a bit back to normal, I think the valuation doesn't make much sense. Even if you compare it to its peers, it's very depressed valuation. I'm looking to hold, or if it falls lower, even keep buying it. Like if I keep adding cash, the prices stay as they are, I will keep deploying the cash as I have been doing. So I'm not looking to sell anytime soon. I will hold until Blue Creek is developed or my price target is met, which is much higher than current price. So now for Teekay, remember that Teekay is TGP, which is the LG business, and the tankers business together. I have shares of Teekay and also Teekay Tankers, which is the oil business, the tanker business. Tankers, what happened is the market is very weak. If you see the graph, it's super, super low, but it's picking up. The supply will be very constrained on the next 3 years, and we are running into a super cycle, which the rates will improve dramatically. I think Tankers is in a position to take advantage of that. So the thesis is the same. We will wait until see how the super cycle goes, but we expect good cash flows at that point. So for TGP, the fleet keeps being contracted on a high rate. There's also a long-term cycle incoming, which LNG will keep being replacing maybe oil or getting more use. So I think TGP has a maybe longer term outlook, a more positive outlook than tankers, but tankers has in the next 3 years a very good, I say, super cycle. So these are the two positions. Holding Teekay, you hold both, and also the mother company is exposed, is leveraged against those. So I'm looking to hold until this price target is met or keep adding. Then about Intel is also like 10% of the portfolio. Some people really hate this position for me. It's probably the one I have received more hate for. But I think it was so cheap. It's such a high quality company. It's running into some turmoil, some bad times, maybe, yes. But I think the economics make a lot of sense. So I'm okay holding this. They also, a lot of recent news, they changed the CEO. So management is changing a bit. They are getting more hands hands-on, and they are changing a bit to more of a fab model. Some people think that's a mistake. I think with the political situation, it makes some sense. They might get some money from that, and it's needed. I think we need more silicon, like more production everywhere in the world. So I think it's good the way they are going, and it seems that we might see a turnaround in the next 2 to 5 years. I'm good holding during those times, during that time frame. And remember, without blood, without things looking grim and bad, you don't get these valuations. You don't get like Intel at 12 times the earnings, right? So yeah, those earnings might deteriorate in the future years. I think not so much as people expect. Of course, without blood, you don't get the good valuations. So about earnings, they are in line with estimates. I said, it's a bet I'm happy taking at these valuations. Then about the product line, remember, Intel is not just a CPU manufacturer. It's a big part of what they are, but they will be lagging AMD for a while, but they might catch up in 5 years. People need to remember that the market is neither that smart or that efficient, right? So people will keep buying Intel products, also at lower prices at the moment compared to AMD. So that you also have to take into consideration. Some people they don't care for a 12% more performance. Also, if they get a 12% discount. So that's also something you have to keep in mind. I mean, it's clear that AMD is a step ahead at the moment, but Intel has so much going for it also. So, okay, so I might keep holding or add to the position at the current valuation. I'm happy holding for 2 to 5 years, or even more if it keeps improving, if the changes that they are trying to do, they really turn out for great. And the only drawback that I see between this position and also the next one, Biogen, is that I'm trying to switch out of these mega cap companies because I think I have a bit of a better edge on the smaller cap. But there are positions that I'm very happy. I have no worries with them, and I think it would be very rare to lose money on this too. So for Biogen, the thesis is still the same. Also, if you get a bit of the memo, is that on earnings, on every quarter earnings, anything changes a lot. It gives you a hint of what's going on inside the business, but it's not like, oh, they missed earnings or they missed estimates. It's over. We need another position. We need to sell everything. No, it doesn't change like that. If you operate a business, you will see that every quarter a lot of things can happen. You might get a feel for what's really changing, what is happening, but it's too short of a time, right? So get that idea across when taking all the thank yous from your companies, because in a quarter a lot of things can happen, and it just gives you a glimpse of what is really going on for Biogen. So aducanumab is the drug that is for Alzheimer's. The decision from the FDA is on June 7th. If it goes through, it's a home run. If it doesn't go through, it's a company that it's at 18 times forward earnings. For such a high quality company with such a wide pipeline, I'm okay holding it as it is. I say there's more to Biogen. It's not just this. I know TechFeeder will get depressed a lot in sales, but it also got approved in China, for example. I think this year we'll have economic reset, like going down to maybe 2.5 billion net earnings, which is, I said, 18 times forward earnings. And from there, a small growth as some of the drugs get approved or not, and so on. So if you have a long time frame, I don't think you'll lose money in this one either. And I will wait until the decision on the 7th of June is set. And from then, what I will do is decide, right? If I want to hold it at 18 times earnings, maybe it gets depressed a lot because the market is always mad when these things don't get approved. So maybe I buy more at the low. If it doesn't get approved, if it passes, as said, it's a home run. So I'm happy holding for 2 to 5 years also, or more. I mean, if all of them, if they don't deteriorate, I'm happy holding. Then Rao Lietuva, this is the next company. Remember, this is a Polish company that sells electricity. They also have a wind park. So this year they had lower sales, around 12 million net profit, this in euros. The lower earnings, what the management is telling us, is because there were low electricity prices and at the press market, not as much volume, right? So they couldn't make as much volume. They buy energy and sell it. So if the price is not there, they don't buy. It's just moving money around. Remember, this company has a policy of 90% plus dividend policy. So from this 12 million, they paid, I think, 11. That goes to 55 cents per share. I hold 500 shares of this. That will be a good dividend for the year. It will probably go down after the dividend, depending on the prices that it goes down to. I might add more to this company. I like it a lot. I think at this price is a steal also. And I said, I'm happy holding. They say that they're improving the relationship with their providers and with their clients. So it's same as usual for Rao Lietuva. For Berkshire, not much to say, not much of a new message. It was great to hear them out at the general meeting. It's always great to hear them again. But about earnings, good quarter for operating business, good quarter for the portfolio, not much to add. A lot of YouTubers will cover this position. For me, it's more of a legacy holding, like a sentimental one. I won't sell ever, right? And I don't know. Well, if it goes to 100 p, Berkshire, I will sell. If not, no. Right? If not, I will hold even after they die. Even with a new management, I will hold it for a very long time, right? So it's a part of the portfolio which is very tiny at the moment, as I'm adding more to the other position. So it would stay at it is. It has gained a lot in value, actually, but I will just hold, right? Finally, about Batla Minerals. Remember, this is the company that was like a net stock. It held 2 euros of cash, more or less, per share, no debt, around 26 cents per share of earnings, and I paid 62, right? So it's like a P of 2, and it has around 3 to 4 times as much cash as each share, as the price of each share. So that's why it was super cheap. What happened is that, well, it appreciated quite a bit, almost 50%. Now it's fallen a bit more, back to more like a 30% gain, 25% gain. It's a company that I'm not liking management a lot. They tried to push a loan for the major shareholders for one of the companies that he owns. I don't really love that. I think it's not taking into account the small shareholders. They tried to push it on the last general meeting. There are no news about that. I have asked them. They haven't answered. Not good practice. I don't love this. As far as I know, it's not approved. But if it's approved, it's not that the cash is gone, but we will get a very small yield. It changes all the thesis a lot. And if the loan goes through, I will sell probably. Maybe not at a loss, but if it's slightly profitable, I will just exit because management is not give me good feelings. So that's a bit about Batla. I will have to wait maybe a couple of months for the next news because they do like a newsletter and then they have to post the final results with close on the 31st of March, but they take a couple of months to just present them. So I will wait until we get some solid news about Batla. It's super cheap, but if the management is not playing along, is not playing ball, we won't play. That's it. Okay, so that's a bit everything about the portfolio. I said probably next video will be about Shinoken, let you know what I think, each part of the business, what I value it as, and a bit on the investing thesis. If you like more of this kind of content or you want to see other kind of content, just also let me know. But I will probably, as I said, align it more with research, what I learn from myself, share it with the channel, more than trying to do content that everyone is doing and trying to do content that maybe is more useful for someone learning about investing, but not as useful for me. I think this is more of sharing my journey. And I think from the message I have been receiving from all of you, it's more of what you are interested in, right? Okay, so everyone be safe, take care, see you on the next one, bye-bye.